and welcome to this gemstone journey, where I hope to give you the opportunity to tune in not only to the healing gemstone necklaces, but to the energies that they can provide, so you get an idea how things within your own world, within your own being, can shift when you receive the nourishment that really only healing quality gemstones can provide. It's really quite fascinating. Okay, so I'm going to get started. What I'd like you to do is to first tune in to whatever you perceive as the center of yourself, where that center might be, as though the being that you are is a series of concentric circles. And whenever you feel you have found that center, see if you can move in a little deeper. It's a way to access that innermost part of yourself, the part of you that knows. And I'd like to remind you also to remember to breathe as you're doing this. With every inhale, you're inviting in life-giving energy, oxygen, as well as the energy that rides upon the breath. And with every exhale, you are letting go of energy that might stand in your way to receiving more and other things as well. So now that you have found as close as you can to that center of yourself, you might ask that self, which is you, if there's something that you would like to gain from this particular, I'll call it a session, but it's not really a formal gemstone therapy session. It's a little different. I like to call it more of a journey than a session. But it will still be therapeutic. That's the intent, with no attachment to outcome. But also trusting that that universe knows better than you do what you need. And so if you ask for one thing and get something else, that attitude of the grateful heart will allow you to recognize that that something else is also truly in your best interest. Okay, one more deep breath. And a long drawn out exhale. I'm going to start with gemstones called Azurite malachite. And they are paired with an emerald, well, 2 emeralds and 2 blue sapphires. I think you can see it better on this side. And I also have 2 extra, these are bracelets of a different quality of Azurite malachite. Not sure how you can best see it. Maybe that way, yeah. So take a look at the gemstones, get a sense of what they look like so that you can receive their energies even through visually. Getting an understanding of that visual connection that you might have. And then I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, still connecting with these gemstones, because I'm bringing them into our healing journey space, if you will. A space that we declare as safe, sacred, and clear. And notice how the energies of these gemstones help settle you. In fact, if you follow these energies, what they do when they fill your being, when they fill your body, they bring your energies down below your feet, and they bring your attention to something called the Earth Star chakra. It's below your feet. It is an energetic repository. I imagine it to be somewhat spherical. And when you entered into your present incarnation, just before you made that connection with yourself after you were born, you brought with you information about your mission and purpose in this lifetime and what decisions to make along your journey in this lifetime. And sometimes we lose connection with that. Sometimes we get unclear. Sometimes we forget what it is that we came here for. And when you might have difficulty making decisions about your career or other life-oriented choices, you can, with or without the gemstones, put yourself in a comfortable space, find your center as I showed you how, and then move down below your feet. I see it as about, 3 feet to a meter or so below your feet. Most people are in that range. And settle yourself into that space. And just be there. Be there with your potential of you. We pair the Azurite malachite with emerald so that the information that you might gain subconsciously is better received by your body. And the blue sapphire is meant to help the information you obtain from your Earth Star chakra to come into your mind so your mind can see it and know it. Let yourself be comfortable with that energy. So I'd like you to just remain where you are. I'm going to bring in different gemstones now. I'm going to bring in the opal and aquamarine. And for this, if you could open your eyes again, take a look at the opal. A really interesting stone. Opal does things in different lighting situations. Very unusual in that way. But it does have some beautiful play of color in these beads, reds and blues and greens. You just have to catch just the right light to see it. In any case, while you are in your centered in your Earth Star chakra, you may have brought with you some beliefs that you had about who you are and where you're going in life and what your destiny is. What is your purpose here? How to better uncover your gifts and to use them in greater service. And yet, here is this presence of your own Earth Star chakra that may be saying something slightly different. You may feel even a little bit of discomfort down there. And the purpose of the opal is to help you soften your mind, to soften your beliefs, to soften the self-imposed cages that we put ourselves in. Those self-imposed beliefs can make us make decisions that begin to veer us away from those instructions that we brought with us into this lifetime. And so the opal helps us to soften. I like to say that it softens the grooves in the mind, those ruts that we tend to keep following and following and following until they get so deep, all we can see is walls on either side. And we forget where we are and who we are and what surrounds us. So allow that opal energy to give you that permission to see things newly about yourself, to feel more in tune with your Earth Star chakra. Pay attention to your breathing. We have the opal with aquamarine flooding our session space, the space we have created for this gemstone journey. And so you can breathe it in, because it is possible to enter a space, an energetic space, even remotely, where energies can be shared. It's as though I've created like a pool, and everybody gets to dip their toe in the pool or dive in if you want. And in this case, it's a pool of energy of opal and aquamarine. Okay, let's give gratitude to the gemstones. Breathe in their energies. I also want to acknowledge all of you for you're just sitting back and receiving. Well done. Well done. There's no reason to reach out, because it makes no sense to do that. You won't get anything more by reaching out. This is a pool of gemstone energy, and just as any swimming pool, you just have to get in to experience the energies. And because there's a touch of 4D in what we're doing to be able to do this, it is also going to work through time. In other words, when you watch the replay, the experience that you have will be real, and it can even take you the next step farther than where you've gone this evening. In gratitude to the opal and aquamarine. We're going to remain in the Earth Star for one more necklace. It is possible that when the Earth Star repository has been neglected long enough, that energies there can get sluggish, kind of sticky even. And that can happen with anything that you ignore. Any part of your body that is ignored. So I'm going to bring in a necklace of Rhodochrosite with peach moonstone and marble. They are rondelles, which means that they're a little more gentle than the Rhodochrosite spheres, which is usually how it comes. What Rhodochrosite does is it helps clear out the closet, so to speak. It gets energies moving in a circular kind of way, and the rondelles are much more gentle than the spheres. I think I said that. And so as you are centered in your Earth Star chakra, Notice this turning energy. We'll be going sideways like this, turning. And two things are happening. First of all, sluggish energy is being uprooted and dispersed. That's what Rhodochrosite does. And also the information that is important becomes clearer, easier to see. Just like cleaning a closet. You get rid of the stuff you don't need, you organize what you think you might need in the future, and it's easy to find what you do need. The purpose of the peach moonstone is to help you sort that out. What is it that you truly need and what don't you? The Earth Star chakra may also have information about choices you've already made, and those need to be set aside so that you have just what you need for going forward. This necklace, I am not doing that to this necklace. It is, well, to me, when it moves like this, it means that it's connecting with one or more of you and just working. It's doing its thing. It's doing its job. And the marble is there to help you to be, well, I kind of look at that as Michelangelo's David, where he was supposedly have said that he was just chipping away at everything else that was not the David, his famous statue. And so that's what I perceive also that is happening in this particular design as well. So it's quite busy, so we're going to just keep it in our space for a little while longer. Remember to breathe in and pay attention also to the exhale. I think it's human nature to want to change some things, to shake things up, to have something different in our lives. But then when it comes down to it, we're like, whoa, wait a second, not so fast. And the rondelles give us a gentler version of the spheres. Whereas the spheres might be good in a gemstone therapy practice because you're working with them, with clients for shorter periods of time. This is something that could be worn by an individual, and most likely you'd feel more comfortable with it, so you could wear it for longer periods of time, helping you to get out of states that maybe you've been in a long time, and it's time to get back into that Earth Star chakra, pull out of the closet the information you need to move forward in your life. What are the lessons I'm supposed to learn in this situation? And then working with the Rhodochrosite to help, you might say, shake things up a little bit. Well, I have several more necklaces to share with you, so let's give our gratitude to this particular one. Now I'm going to bring forward Amethyst. Now, Amethyst is going to help you to move the energies and the information that you have accessed in your Earth Star chakra and bring it up into your body and into your head and even beyond. And so this will be the gemstone that helps you to retrieve that information and helps you get your attention out of the Earth Star and back into your center where we began this evening. So before I bring the amethyst into the session space, take a moment to remember, even note, even jot down if you want to, if there were any awarenesses that you got while you're immersed in your Earth Star chakra before we move on. Here is amethyst. These are amethyst rondelles. They are super, super clean. Beautiful, beautiful. So allow your eyes to drink in the amethyst. Allow this purple color to resonate with you. It's as though we're moving into a new phase of our session now, where you're going to receive a lot of nourishment. And this is the amethyst. It is the vitalizing gemstone for the nervous system. So as you breathe in its energy that is now within the pool of this healing journey, allow it to enter into your nervous system, although more accurately, amethyst energy already has a relationship with your nervous system and an affinity for it. So the truth is, you're going to be following it to your nervous system. Allow it to fill your spinal cord, the cord that runs from your brain down your spine, protected by your spine. Allow it to fill, almost like liquid, that's how I see it, fill all the peripheral nerves running down your arms and legs, all the nerves that fill your abdomen, the ones that you can't feel, your visceral organs, your stomach, your intestines, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your pancreas, adrenals, so forth. Any area of your body that may not be working as it should, a part of that experience of that particular organ is its nervous system and how well it communicates to your brain and how well the brain communicates to it. The brain can also be governed by the purple ray, although sometimes it's the green ray. Depends on what function it's performing at the time. And it's also, in most cases, the dominating color in your crown chakra. Although every color is at all chakras, because all chakras call in a spectrum of colors. We pair the amethyst with white beryl. Purpose of the white beryl is to help clear any blockages that may be in the color ray. And this is very important, very important. It's one of the big lessons that I learned from way back. When I first started working with gemstones, I would just work with the single gem. And as far as color rays are concerned, it's not a good idea because imbalances in color often happen because there's a buildup of that color. And with a white beryl, the white beryl is able to flush unwanted energies that are associated with the color. So allow yourself a few more breaths and allow yourself to be saturated with the purple color ray. Allow it to help you to tune in to your crown chakra and feel, if you can, feel its rhythm, because every chakra has a rhythm. Let's give gratitude to the amethyst. Gratitude to our bodies for receiving it. Gratitude for our nervous system for accepting it. Going to move down the spectrum. All right, this is indigo. And take a look at how it looks. This is 4 millimeter, and it's nice and long, which I kind of like. Some gems I like on the shorter, some I like on the longer. I like indigo to be longer because it's vitalizing for the skeletal system. And the more of my body can reach, the better. But that being said, the teeth are part of the skeletal system, and also the gums, because they support the teeth. And so if you have issues in your jaw or your teeth, having a necklace that's shorter might be something that you would prefer if you want to work with the color rays. Also paired with white beryl. Make sure there's no buildup of indigo color anywhere in your body that could be blocking. And this is really busy tonight too. Look at how that's swaying. It's amazing. We're really big on allowing the gemstones to breathe. Personally, I'm really big on encouraging everyone to breathe because it not only keeps our body alive, but it also helps to bring in healing energy and life-giving energy. And the exhale, letting go what you don't need, what your body doesn't need. So tune into that deepest part of your body where your bones are. Or even tune into your teeth as they come to the surface. And see if you can feel that indigo color ray feeding you. Allow yourself to drink it in. Allow yourself to receive. And there really is an abundance. You won't drain the gemstone because you're not technically getting the indigo from the gemstone. You're getting it from the abundance of life energy that surrounds you. The gemstones are just reminding your body how to do it. Yes, if you wore the gemstone, you would be getting it directly from the gemstone. But in a remote session-like experience like this, it's as though the gemstones are a code. And as you tune into that code, your body remembers. And I'm thrilled to see them dance like this. That just makes me so happy that at least one of you out there is responding to that indigo color ray, because it can be so healing. And by healing, as far as color rays are concerned, they're filling absences, they're filling deficiencies so that your body can heal itself. The gemstones give you the resources that you need to heal yourself. The body knows how to heal itself, to restore itself, to maintain itself. Okay, and gratitude to the indigo. Gratitude to your bones and your teeth for absorbing what it did, for accepting, for taking a step in learning how to receive. The time between when I introduce one gemstone and then say goodbye to it and the next, integrate. Allow yourself to find a new level of balance. All right, blue sapphires next. And I always thought that blue sapphire was something one would wear short. And then one of our students and customers ordered a longer one. And it was like, wow, this is amazing because it could actually reach down in front of the heart. This is really super nice blue sapphire. We consider it 4A. I just noticed some of these beads have a shine or like an agilurescence. And for sapphire, natural sapphire, this is actually quite clean for the price point. Already it's good. It's already starting to work. Okay. I also should say that some blue sapphire looks almost indigo when you look at it, but then when you hold it up to the light, you can see how blue it is. This blue sapphire looks blue. So you've attuned your eyes to what that blue color looks like. You can close them, tune in. How and where is that blue working? It is usually the dominant color in our throat chakra spectrum, but it's a color that comes in through all the chakras. It is nourishing for our sensory system, our ability to see, hear, touch, feel. It is particularly nourishing for nerve sheaths and vessel walls, membranes. And it's also particularly nourishing for our mind, our ability to think clearly, to understand the power and potential of our mind, the proper use of thought for manifesting. So I invite you to breathe in the blue color ray. Breathe it in. And allow it to go where it wants to go. Now you have vessel walls and nerve sheaths all throughout your body and cell membranes. Where does it go? Maybe it accumulates at your eyes or behind your head where the vision center is, or with your ears, could be inside your head in the inner ear. Or you might have a sensation of it working at your throat or even in your head, because that is the sensation of our head is almost like a metaphor for our mind. With blue sapphire, you can explore the full extent of the mind and body connection. Also, white beryl. In fact, there's a lot more white beryl in this necklace than in the others. And that's because sapphire, being the gemstone that is, well, blue sapphire, sapphire the corundum, being the carrier of the blue color ray. Corundum carries its color rays with gusto, shall I say, with gusto, with a lot of determination, with the ability to clear out quite a bit. And so that white beryl is there to clear what your mind is ready and willing to let go of. It's you might say, a much stronger faucet. The water comes through with a faucet a lot more strongly through the corundums, and blue sapphire is the corundum. Also yellow sapphire and ruby is also a corundum, but we'll get there in a moment. Allow your body to receive the blue color ray. Breathe it in. Exhale what you no longer need. And then feel gratitude to the blue sapphire. Okay, graceful let go. Grateful also to all the parts of us that was able to receive this color ray. Right, next we have emerald, emerald with white beryl. Emerald is a beryl, and yet we also pair it with a lot of white beryl. A lot. The purpose here is a little bit different. The white beryl helps to pave a way, it clears the way for the emerald energy to reach in. Because emerald is so nourishing for the physical body. The vital organs, like the heart, lungs, liver, pancreas, stomach, etc., they thrive on green color ray, especially the liver, but all of them do. The lungs too. They need a lot of green ray. Green is the color of our physical body. It gives us vitality. It gives us it's like the energetic building block, but not just green. Green as the dominant color in a spectrum, because all of our cells and molecules and even the atoms that are a part of our body and been received and accepted by our body thrive on green dominant spectrums because they're part of our body. Those that have specialized responsibilities, like I spoke about before, will have different colors dominating their spectrum. But when they are in a healing mode, they're going to be asking for green, spectrums that dominate in green. You might notice that this might be a little paler than what you might think of emerald. My ring here is a darker green, more of a traditionally green emerald. You see that here. But what I loved about this, and the reason that I bought this for you guys, was because the clarity is amazing. And to get this clarity in this kind of color would probably be out of financial reach for most people. So, but I just loved the clarity of this. Better clarity, the green ray is able to come through more freely. Maybe the concentration isn't as great as an emerald that's more like that color, but it's going to be there. Will be there because it can get there. Enjoy the emerald, follow it in your body. You may notice that it tends to pool in the heart. It is the dominating color of the spectrum that feeds the heart chakra in most cases, as well as your heart organ. Heart is a muscle, and as a muscle, it feeds on spectrums that dominate in red, as muscles do. We'll get there when I show you the ruby. But as an organ, and if the organ is stressed, then it will be calling in green, dominating, and fortunately, the heart chakra is so close to our heart organ that it's able to get that green. It has, you might say, it's first in line for any green color ray that might be coming into the heart chakra. Let's give gratitude to the green color ray. And if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, let's see if I have it. I love this so much. It's just out of my reach. I just can't bring it home with me, but I crave this green. What I would suggest is that you just get a bottle of the green ray spray. We make our sprays, our aura sprays, with the healing gemstones. And so that's a way that you can get emerald into your field. It only lasts for a few seconds while the mist is in your aura, but it can be tremendously nourishing for you. Gratitude to emerald. Next in the rainbow order is yellow sapphire, a brilliant, bright yellow color. If I can get you to see it. It is, I think, the nicest yellow sapphire color. I mean, it's pure yellow. It is yellow. We gave it 5A instead of 6A, even though I absolutely adore this color, just because the gems were not perfectly consistent. We only give 6A grade if something is perfect, at least to the naked eye. Sometimes we will look under a 10x loop before we grade anything 6A. But in any case, this is yellow sapphire. Again, sapphire, lots of white beryl. Lots of white beryl. And now that you've seen this beautiful yellow ray bearing gemstone, close your eyes and receive it. Watch where it goes. The yellow ray is the dominating color in your stomach chakra. It is also the vitalizing color for the digestive system, particularly the stomach. Interestingly, the stomach is lined with cells that are very similar to the cells of your skin. And not surprisingly, the yellow color ray is also very nourishing for your skin. It's also a color ray that can help you let go. And so often used to support elimination as well. As the dominating color in the spectrum that feeds the stomach chakra, wearing yellow sapphire can also help you learn to be the captain of your own ship, to be the leader of your life, to take responsibility for your destiny, to take charge of who you are and who you want to be. It can support good self-esteem, balanced self-empowerment, and a healthy sense of self-control. Breathe it in and breathe out any muddy yellow, any old energy, and breathe in the yellow. We have aura sprays in all the 7 colors. So if there's one color that you particularly like and want to work with more, we have the sprays of those too. So let's give gratitude to the yellow color, gratitude to our skin and our digestive tract and all the parts of us that receive the yellow, ourselves as well. Gratitude as we move on, taking a moment to integrate what we have just experienced. I am going to take the liberty to stray just for a moment from going in rainbow order in order to introduce a gemstone that is vitalizing for our microbiome. Scientists are finding more and more about the microbiome and how big it is. Seems like every time I check to see how many microbes do we have in our body, the number increases. It's amazing. There are more microbes in our body than there are natural cells that actually belong to us. And that's because these microbes in general, they are symbiotic, they are supportive, they help keep the cell healthy and clean and safe and well protected, and they help the immune system to remove harmful pathogens like bacteria, virus, and so forth that could be hurting the cell. They often do this by convincing the harmful bacteria and virus to morph to become symbiotic rather than killing it. It's like they say, okay, you harmful virus, you have the opportunity. You can either die or you can become one of us. And sometimes the immune system has to come in and take care of it and disassemble it. And sometimes it does become symbiotic. And the key to doing that is shifting its spectrum. And there are very interesting ways that we work with that in gemstone therapy, certainly, to support that morphing into a friendly bacteria or virus. And so recently I have found that there is a gemstone that is particularly vitalizing for the microbiome. And I'm going to show you this one. This is yellow fluorite. As soon as I bring it forward, it's like my microbes just jump up and go, yay. And when I first found yellow fluorite, I thought, well, I like the yellow because it's pretty. And I wore it for a day or two. And then I thought, this just isn't working for me because what works for me is the darker variety. So we just take that back. And this is more of a caramel color, maybe a yellow golden color. It looks different in the different lighting. Actually, the yellow fluorite, it comes in a wide variety of colors, of different shades of color. We were able to put these two together in a more solid color. And then we also have the rondelles, and unlike the rhodochrosite, we found that the rondelles are actually a little stronger. They're a more concentrated form of the color of yellow fluorite. It's more dense. The elements that make fluorite yellow are more densely packed in this, and less so in these. You can see the color is a little bit lighter. It's not as evenly distributed, not as dense, and hence the difference in the price as well. I'm going to just bring all of these out. We pair them with different shades of yellow tourmaline, or on the yellow spectrum, you might say. Every necklace has 2 of 3 different shades of tourmaline. Also craved by your microbiome. And so I wanted to take this opportunity, since we're working with the yellow color ray, which is nourishing to us humans and pets as well, but it's the yellow fluorite and the yellow tourmaline that have an affinity with our microbiome. And that's why I took this little side trip to be able to share this with you. So allow yourself to tune in to your microbiome. Give it gratitude. Give it gratitude. The rondelles do come in various shades of color. And so what I would recommend is that you get a concierge appointment. In other words, get an appointment with the individual in our office who serves as gemstone concierge, so you can find out just the right color that suits you. Because you'll notice that there is a difference. Some people are definitely more attuned to certain colors of the yellow fluorite. Okay, this is the lightest yellow. You can breathe that in. Then there's the golden yellow, almost caramel color. Notice a difference? And then here's this one. So tourmaline as a species of gemstone are the keepers of the flows, and the yellow tourmaline helps maintain those flows through the world of the microscopic level. Breathe it in. Invite the population of microbes in your body to drink this up. And then gratitude to the gemstones, gratitude to your microbiome. Give yourself a chance to integrate. Right, so we're going to move on to orange, the orange color ray. Before I bring it in, I just want to prepare you that it's coming. This gemstone carries a particularly bright form of the orange color ray, which could be a little, well, shocking is too strong a word. Striking, surprising. It could be a little surprising for some people. So that's why I wanted to warn you. We do have different types of Carnelian, which is carrier of the orange color ray. Probably why, of all the color ray bearing gemstones, well, we do have Amethyst carries the purple color ray, and it is quartz based, and Carnelian is also quartz. It's microcrystalline quartz, which would mean that, well, if orange were carried by a macrocrystalline quartz, like amethyst is macrocrystalline, the force of that orange would be way too much. We couldn't receive it. If it was carried by a sapphire or a beryl, we couldn't receive it. It would be too strong. It would be too strong. It's like trying to drink water from a fire hose. You can't do it. You can't do it. I'm not saying that orange sapphire carries the orange color. It doesn't, but if it did. And so here we have, this is the last one. Some of you have seen this before because the quartz is more gentle. It doesn't need as much white beryl, same as with the amethyst. If you recall, it didn't need as much white beryl as the sapphires and the beryls do, as those gems carry their color rays. Very clean gemstones, a very pure orange color. I love this piece. Oh my goodness. It is just so beautiful. And the ovals also tone down the orange a little bit too. They tone it down. Orange is the primary color in the spectrum that nourishes the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra teaches us about good relationship, including relationship with ourselves, including relationship with all of life, including relationships with neighbors and people that are different than we are in thought and belief, in appearance, and whatever. It's relationship with our microbiome, relationship with other life forms. Getting comfortable with the orange ray will help you to be more comfortable with other people and perhaps even help you find a partner if that's what you're looking for. Certainly help you find a way to greater peace with a partner you might already have, and greater positive engagement with that partner as well. It's certainly a bright autumn color for sure. But allow yourself to close your eyes and bring this orange ray in. See if you can receive it into yourself. The orange ray also nourishes your endocrine system. So things like your adrenals, your thyroid, your thymus, pituitary and pineal, all these glands, and as well as the endocrine function as it exists in other organs and tissues throughout your body. Because scientists are also finding that endocrine function is not just limited to the endocrine glands. So if you're at all struggling with this color ray, what I would suggest is that you breathe in shallow first, like breathe into the count of 1, 2, exhale 1, 2. When that's comfortable, breathe in 1, 2, 3, exhale 1, 2, 3. You can slow it down. And then to a count of 4, a count of 5, increasing only when you're ready. Only when you're ready. The better you are able to receive the orange color ray throughout your body, the better those organs and tissues will be able to receive signals that are sent by other endocrine glands. In other words, the biochemicals that your body sends to other parts of itself. Okay, let's give gratitude to Carnelian. Let's integrate what we have experienced so far. And next I'm going to bring in the third sapphire, which is actually, we call it ruby, but it's actually corundum. And look at that amazing red color. That's just crazy red. Crazy, crazy, rich, natural ruby. When you look at it, you'll also see how bright red this is. It's just when you put it up in the light, you can see how the color ray shines through so well. Good, so tune in to that red color ray. It nourishes your muscles, including your heart as a muscle. And it is the dominating color in your root chakra. Primary purpose of your root chakra is to drive you forward. The root chakra actually has two positions. At night, when you're asleep, it goes into the downward position, which means it is parallel with your legs. And then when you get up in the morning, it becomes forward as all your other chakras, except for the crown, face forward. And so when the root chakra is in the downward position at night, it is gathering earth energy. It's gathering information from your earth star chakra. And then in the morning, it brings that energy up into your body and drives you forward so you can make the decisions you need to make, so you can take steps moving forward. We often find that people who have difficulty with motivation usually have some kind of chakra anomaly in the root chakra. Maybe it's stuck in the downward position, which can happen, and or they're deficient in the red ray. Or it could be their root chakra is bringing in a spectrum that is not dominating in red. Perhaps it's dominating in a different color, but that's because that color is needed. There's never a mistake in the colors that your body calls in and the spectrums that they're part of. There's always a reason. It's sometimes amazing to decipher what that is. Let your muscles receive it. And if you feel resistance, pay attention to your breathing. Allow yourself to breathe for your muscles. So as you inhale, you are breathing life-giving energy, including the red color ray, into your muscles. And as you exhale, you're exhaling the unwanted energy that may have been accumulating in your muscles. Let's give gratitude to the red ray. I'm now going to give you a chance to integrate that. Something else brand new is a most delicate and sweet pink sapphire. Pink sapphire and white beryl. Pink, you might say, is a dilution of the red ray. And to make a long story short, pink comes in first, and in the physical world, it becomes red. And so in the emotional world, in the emotional body, it remains pink. And so we find that pink sapphire is particularly strengthening for the emotional body. If the emotions had muscles, that's what pink sapphire would be supporting or feeding, just like the red ray nourishes our physical muscles, our physical heart. The pink sapphire, you might say, nourishes our emotional heart, making it strong so that we can make better choices about the feelings that we feel. We can be more resilient against feelings that other people may have, either about us or in our presence, that might be weakening or destructive to us. We can be resilient. Just say, that's your experience, not mine. This is pink sapphire. We have seen pink sapphire. In fact, we might even have one left in stock. I'm not sure. That's a lot darker. Usually we do see pink sapphire that's a lot darker. But this is a beautiful, as you can see, a beautiful pale pink. It's just so, it's so gentle. It's so, oh, I can't find the words. Yes, I can find them. It's like a friend. Yes, I'll be there for you. I'm in your court. We can do this. We can do this together. So lovely, so gentle. I'm going to bring it a little closer so you can see it better. And then allow yourself to look within and feel how this pink sapphire is nourishing you. Allow yourself to feel it. And with that strength that comes from the pink sapphire, you'll be able to let go of certain emotions that you might be plagued with, that don't seem to want to let go. And for that, gratitude to the pink sapphire, we have a gemstone that is designed particularly for that purpose. And that is rose quartz with red spinel. And when I saw this rose quartz, it was at the Tucson Gem Show, I was so excited because this rose quartz reminded me almost of the clarity you'd expect from rosalite. It has this beautiful cloudy softness that, again, it's so loving, it's so gentle, it's so easy. So rose quartz does support the release of emotions because you should not be storing emotions in your physical body. We pair it with red spinel. This is not ruby, this is red spinel. Red spinel has rhythm to it. It allows you to release suppressed, held emotions in a rhythmic way. And I can tell you that is so much easier than just a full necklace just of rose quartz that demands you must release these emotions now. But if you can release them just as you breathe out, release, breathe in, restore, breathe out, release, and breathe in, restore. With every inhale, you have the opportunity to have the strength for the next round of release. So that's why we pair this with red spinel. Just allow yourself to tune in to the energies. You might find that the energies of the rose quartz and red spinel tend to accumulate in the heart. And the reason is because the heart is a muscle and emotions tend to get stuck in the heart. Especially, well, negative emotions, ones that we want to suppress. They can get stuck in also skeletal muscles, like your arms and your legs. But especially if there's passion behind the feeling, you really, really feel that feeling, and you're holding it back, it's often going to get stuck in that heart. Okay, gratitude to the gemstones. I have one more to share with you tonight, and this is Siberian jade, and it's one of the most amazing pieces I've ever seen, because look at that. Let's see if you can see the chatoyance of it. Yeah, maybe it's easier to see in the dark. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Every single bead has this chatoyance to it. It's like a shine. And that is unique to Siberian jade. Anyway. And pre-night, of course. What jade helps you do is to collect your energy. And what pre-night helps you do is to make space within yourself to receive what's being collected. So they're a perfect pair, a perfect symbiotic pair. And so now that you've experienced the healing energies of all these gemstones, I'm not sure how many, you just 12, 13 or so. Now that we bring jade into our picture, you're able to, you might say, corral those healing energies of the other gemstones and keep them within your space for a little bit longer. We'll help you to integrate them so that they become more of a part of you, so that you can learn to identify them and even call them in from the earth if you ever need them, because you know what they're like. You've experienced them, you've felt them at all levels of you. Well, except physically, you haven't, but you'll be more familiar with those energies. Pay attention to your breathing. Feel that very gentle, it's a very gentle centripetal force, that circling force that comes in and collects your energy, collects your emotions and your thoughts, and even your physical energies, collects them. Mhm. So beautiful. Okay, let's give gratitude to the gemstones for their service today, the jade, and all the intelligence centers throughout your body that guided your body to receive these healing energies. Find that center within yourself once again. And if you think you found your center, go into the next smaller concentric circle. And from there, take a few breaths. And allow yourself to recollect some of the highlights of this experience. It's another way of integrating. Helps to bring also those highlights into your mind so you're more likely to remember them. Feel that sense of joy coming up in gratitude. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel how the furniture is supporting you. It's another way to integrate. And may you leave this session this evening rich with the nourishment that comes from our planet, because that's where these gems come from. They are born and bred in earth. They are farmed in earth. The earth is the farmer. Mm-hmm. And may the abundance of these healing gemstone energies drive you toward the next step in your journey to greater health.